Okay, so we're still in Matthew chapter 25, verse 41 now. Then he will say to those on his left, "Depart from me, you who are cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels." Now, this is the issue here. This is what we're talking about. I did not mean to distract you as to those who were believers in the tribulation and how they demonstrated that they were saved. This is the issue here. If you need me to go over what the rest of it says, you can go ahead and read it. Just remember that those who did not help those who were dying and who were desolate, destitute, etc., they illustrated that they were not saved by not helping them out. These were those that were in need were the ones that did not take the mark of the beast. And so by not helping them out, illustrated that they were not saved. They were just as antagonist as all the other people. And so these are the ones that are going to go to the lake of fire. Well, Sheol, and they're going to be waiting for the lake of fire. Now, here we are. Verse 41. "Depart from me, you who are cursed, into eternal fire." And look, etoimatzo, prepared for the devil and his angels. The devil, this is Satan, and his fallen angels, 1/3 of the angels who followed Satan. This was prepared for Satan and the fallen angels. This happened in the prehistoric angelic conflict. They had a chance. First, Satan rebelled in perfect environment in heaven. Then he took 1/3 of the fallen angels. They rebelled, causing a revolution. God gave them some time so that perhaps they could take a salvation plan, the salvation package, however way it was known back then. They refused to take it, and finally the sentence was given to them. The sentence said, "You're going to be separated in the lake of fire forever and ever and ever." Verse 41. Etoimatzo, where is it? Etoimases menon. This is the perfect tense, going back all the way to the prehistoric angelic conflict when he prepared this lake of fire, and with the result that it stands and it stands and it stands forever, that lake of fire. Okay? And so, we can put a few things together. This is human history. I know it looks crooked. I'm terrible at drawing lines. And let's pretend that Adam was born around this time. This is when he was created directly by God. Boom. Before that, before humanity, is the prehistoric angelic conflict. So let's put prehistory. This is the historic angelic conflict. Once Adam was created, this is the historic angelic conflict. This is the prehistoric angelic conflict. So, we know that there's a lake of fire reserved for the angels. This happened in eternity past. Boom. Let's put it right here. Pretend that this happened here. Finally, God said, "You guys are condemned." So, if they were sentenced in the past, and the sentence has not been brought about, it has not been executed, then what's going on right here? They still have freedom. Satan still has freedom to be doing whatever he wants. The demon boys are still fully operational at this moment. So if they were sentenced in the past, and the lake of fire sentence will be executed in the future, so what's the purpose of them still going on? What happened? So this coincides with the creation of mankind. Therefore, we deduce from this that the creation of mankind is for the purpose of solving the angelic conflict. Remember, they were sentenced in the past, but the sentence has not been brought about. It is going to be carried out in the future. This coincides with the creation of mankind. So what was mankind created? To solve the angelic conflict. The solving of the angelic conflict coincides with the creation of mankind. Therefore, mankind becomes the issue in the angelic conflict, and we call this the historic phase of the angelic conflict. The issue is, are they going to choose for God or not? Contrary to Satan, he says, no, why would anyone choose for you? Why would anyone use grace? I wanted to do my things my own way. Why would man just simply go on and take your own grace and just take your own plan? I'm getting ahead of myself. But now, do you see how we deduce this? We deduct this? Okay, I'm going to carry on right now. We can go over this in the future. So, the imprisoned, okay. Point 2. The fallen angels were sentenced to the lake of fire, Matthew chapter 25, verse 41. The sentence has not been brought about to the end until the end of human history. Point 3. Satan appealed the sentence and thus impugned the character of God. He said, why would a loving creature reject why would a loving God reject his beloved creatures and cast them into the lake of fire? That's not very loving. Well, you can see the fallacy behind Satan's argument. Yes, he's pointing out the love of God, but he's in denial, obviously, but he's not cognizant about the fact that the love of God and the justice of God cannot be separated. The righteousness of God is part of the integrity of God. The justice of God is part of the integrity of God. And the love of God goes together with that, with the result that the love of God is also the integrity of God. And you cannot divorce love from righteousness and justice. So, Satan, you're wrong in pulling out love to the exclusion of righteousness and justice. So yes, he appealed the sentence, and he became the leader of all the fallen angels, as we see in his name, Shatan, Satan, which means the adversary, the accuser. He's like the accusing attorney, the defense attorney of them. We see words such as diabolos, which also means adversary. This is from which we get the word devil. And so we see all these legal terms about him being the defense attorney of the fallen angels, the accuser. He's the one that accuses the believers as well. Whenever you sin, you're advancing in the plan of God, and you engage in sinning, guess who's going to go up there and like a little snitch, like a little taddy, look who's sinning. Your beloved creature, he's very advanced and he's sinning. And every single time that he tries to condemn you because you're sinning a lot, guess who's going to come to your defense? The Lord Jesus Christ. He's going to say, the Lord Jesus Christ already took all those sins. He does not get it. This is arrogance. This is insanity. Well, let me carry on before we point out Satan's insanity because of his arrogance. Point 4. The pattern of angelic rejection of God is expressed in two forms. Here we see the parallels. So the pattern of angelic rejection of God is expressed in two forms. A, the original sin of Satan, Isaiah chapter 14, verses 12 to 14. And B, the negative volition of all the other fallen angels, Hebrews chapter 2. So this is the rejection of God. First, Satan, I will be like God. I will sit on the throne of God. I will be above the stars. All that. This Satan with his extreme arrogance. And then the negative volition of all the other fallen angels who followed Satan. Point 5. To resolve the angelic conflict, an inferior creature, mankind, was created and placed on the earth, having the same volition as angels. Psalm chapter 8, verses 3 to 5. Hebrews chapter 2, verse 7. And so, here we're about to see the parallels. Because Satan and the fallen angels were created in perfect environment, yes? So Adam was also created in perfect environment. Satan and the fallen angels rejected God in perfect environment. Adam also rejected God in imperfect environment. Satan and the fallen angels had the chance to accept a salvation package after they were condemned. Adam and the woman also had a chance to accept a salvation package after they had sinned. Satan and the fallen angels refused to take that salvation package after they had sinned. Adam and the woman took the salvation package after they had sinned. And so just the simple fact that Adam and the woman already refuted Satan, the fact that they already took the salvation package already refutes Satan entirely. The angelic conflict should be over, but God carries on, and now we're going to see why. I hope I did not confuse you with this last sentence. God continues the angelic conflict. He wants more people. He wants to replace the fallen angels. Okay. Point 6. Human volition is put to the test under two circumstances. In this way, God will demonstrate that he is just in sentencing the angels, the fallen angels, to the lake of fire. 4. The angels began in innocence, so did man. I already went over this, but let me read it. B. The angels sinned, so did man, Adam. C. God provided a salvation package to the angels and to man as well. And D. Angels are divided into two categories, saved and unsaved. So is man. John chapter 3, verse 36. Do you need me to go over this? Yes, you do. So, prehistory. Here it is. Before the fall of Satan, this was perfect environment. There was no sin yet. There was no such thing as a sin nature inside of angels. We don't know what the sin nature is like, but they have, certainly the fallen angels have a sin nature in their angelic bodies at this moment. You bet they do. And so they started also in innocence, in perfect environment. Adam. Here's Adam, the creation of Adam, and this is his fall right here. Boom. So they started off in perfect environment. Adam and the woman also start off in perfect environment. They sinned in perfect environment. Adam also sinned in perfect environment. After they fell, God gave them a chance in the prehistoric angelic conflict to accept a salvation package. Also, after Adam fell, he was also given the chance to accept a salvation package. The difference here is the angels and Satan refused to take that salvation package. Adam and the woman took that salvation package after they were given the gospel in Genesis chapter 3, verses 15 and 16, where it says, from your offspring from the woman, she will crush Satan's head, but the offspring of Satan will strike his heel. This is talking about the cross. And they took the salvation package. The angelic conflict should have been over because Satan is refuted at that moment. But God goes on because he wants to replace the fallen angels with the amount of believers, especially right now in the church age. This is a complicated doctrine. We'll go over that later. But do you see the parallels? Sorry for all these different lines, but you get the point. You see the parallels between perfect environment of angels, perfect environment of Adam. Perfect environment in the sense of them not sinning yet, not having a sin nature. And then they had a chance. And the post-fall, post-sin, Adam also had a chance, post-fall, post-sin. There's also two categories. Those who believed, those who remained faithful to God, they voted for God. They chose God. So we call those the elect angels or the holy ones. Elect angels versus fallen angels. Those who are locked up and those who are fully operational right now. And then on this side also we see two categories. We see in mankind, we see believers, those who did accept the salvation package, and we see unbelievers. So yeah, the angels are tantamount to, the elect angels are tantamount to the believers as humans, and the fallen angels are also tantamount to the unbeliever angels, just as we have unbeliever human beings. Okay. Point 7.